along with their wonderful teachers, have been helping people find joy during a crisis, during the pandemic. Hi, Anna. Hi, Anton. Nice to see you guys.
Hi,
Thanks for joining me for
Marina.
Hi,
this chat.
Marina.
Our pleasure.
So, as someone who's worked a lot in customer experience, I've been truly curious to see how the pandemic has transformed arts and culture. So, one truly remarkable success story of digital transformation really stands out from the rest, and that's really you guys, your dance studio. And I've been following your transformation for quite some time, and I'm just in awe of how Arthur Murray Ajax, the community, has not only survived multiple lockdowns, but it's actually thrived. So, a question for you guys, I guess my first question would be, did you ever expect this type of success, or were you really worried at the beginning about how you will adapt?
Well, we definitely didn't expect this kind of success because we couldn't prepare ourselves for a crazy pandemic like this. And I guess at the very beginning, 2 weeks into the pandemic, I'll be totally honest with you guys. It was my mom who said to me, "You guys should teach your students online." And I said to her, "No, no, that's crazy. Who's gonna do that?" She's like, "No, no, do it, try it." And then Anton and I decided to try it ourselves, and we took some lessons online from some teachers of ours from Russia, and we thought it was really cool. It worked out well.
And it was impossible before to actually have those lessons with them because guys don't travel, and it's for us having the studio and uh, the new baby. So it was difficult for us to travel.
Mhm.
So we decided, why don't we give it a chance? And basically had that lesson, and it went superbly well, and we're so excited about it. And we felt what our students, they need to experience it as well. And yeah, then afterwards, knowing Kana, she basically took things under control, and the rest of the story. So whole studio basically was doing online lessons.
Yeah, at first our students were a bit hesitant, but then when we gave a lot of training to our staff and to ourselves to make sure we really give the best service via Zoom. Because when you teach a dance lesson, you can explain things to people by making them feel it, explaining it to them verbally, and making them see it. And with online lessons, we really removed only one of those. So we can't make them feel it, but you still have visual and by explaining. And what we've actually found is our students improved more than they ever had before since we've opened the studio, because there was nobody there to kind of push them and make them do the step physically. They had to do it completely on their own. And when we put together our first online showcase, it was just shocking to see the huge improvement of all the students because they really took their dancing into their own hands.
Wow, sounds great. So, from my perspective, I think one magical ingredient of your success is perhaps rooted in who you are as professionals and your personal and professional mission. I've known you for quite some time, but you guys are what we call legends in the dance world. So, for those of
Aw.
you that don't know, Anna and Anton are 8-time Canadian national ballroom dance champions. And before we get further into dancing in the digital world, tell us a little bit about yourselves, your personal journey, and about the mission of Arthur Murray and how you connected with it.
Hey, wow, that's a
You go,
loaded
you
question.
go for it. You
Well,
tell about us.
yeah, our personal journey is that both of us have been ballroom dancing all our lives. And then we partnered up when I was 16 and he was 22. I like to call him my imported partner from Russia
Wow.
via Amazon.
Yes, she does.
So we actually didn't know each other before we started dancing. He came from Russia to try out with me because we had a mutual teacher and it worked out really well. We started dancing together. So we had a really long competing professionally. We thought of opening a dance studio, which I think is a kind of a natural thing for a lot of dance teachers and dance professionals to think. But we thought, what's the best approach to do it? And because of our teachers and different people who influenced us, we discovered Arthur Murray, that Arthur Murray combines the best thing about social and competitive in one, right? And we kind of came from a world of just competitive dancing, and we didn't want to limit our future to just that because there's so much beauty in dance for people who just want to do it for fun. And that's kind of the mission of Arthur Murray, getting people from the street who have never danced before, who only would dream of it, And then when they walk into the studio, they dance out. That's actually like a motto of Arthur Murray. You walk in, you dance out. So having the tools to give someone that amazing inspiration to have just a little bit more confidence to dance, which I think every single person in the world wants to do it, only they're scared. And our mission is to relieve them from that fear and give them the confidence to get up on the dance floor and just feel better about themselves as a person, right?
Yes.
Wow, sounds super cool. You'd really think that like a global pandemic would leave dancers and dance studio owners like yourselves and your students without a space to perform, maybe without a community, without an audience, right? So potential clients probably want to put off lessons maybe until things are back to normal. But it seems like you guys have been able to transform your studio into an online community with things like online performances, online competitions, and like you mentioned before, Anton, lessons with teachers from all around the world. Do you guys want to expand a little bit on that and talk about
Yeah,
some highlights?
I guess like for our students who was like before the pandemic, the studio was such a big part of their life. It was, like you said, community for them. So the people were meeting new friends over here. They were meeting new hobbies, of course, dancing, and some of our students actually met their new loves, right?
yeah.
So,
We have two couples who met in the studio.
exactly, and
Wow.
maybe you don't know about more,
Yeah,
right? So,
it's true. Maybe there's more.
anyway, so now we're going into the gossips. But yeah, so basically, it was such a strong community before this terrible pandemic happened. So, and like Anna said, it took basically for us 2 weeks to kind of recognize how much something is needed for people to have, I mean, replacement, of course, of the live performances, live parties, but kind of Zoom and all this online things which we started to do, what Anna was coming up with, did its job. So it did replace for time being this studio, this place in online stuff. And yeah, so basically our students were kind of, they really needed those things what we were doing online. And Anna, she was basically great. Was coming up with all these new ideas, and she keeps coming with some crazy stuff, and sometimes I'm being
More crazy
hesitant.
ideas to come.
Exactly. And I
Like,
was sometimes
what?
being,
Like what crazy ideas? Like I heard something about movie nights or
oh yeah, this is what happens now. And I'm always
Well,
hesitant.
movie night
I
was
was,
your idea. It was actually Marina's idea,
yeah.
and it's working really, really well. But actually, about you mentioned the word community. One of the biggest thing that the studio provided was that feeling of community, and everybody thought right away, "Oh my God! Now since we cannot go there, what happened to that community?" But we're able to sustain that via Zoom, and actually, we're able to expand it even more because, for example, in our last showcase, which was online, when the students performed, they invited their friends from the States. We even had some visitors from Argentina who joined on Zoom to watch it. So in fact, we're able to connect with even more people. And and we're not even talking about like snow days when it's snowing and normally you would cancel all your dance lessons. Now the commute to your dance studio is so fast. It's the fastest it's ever been. You click and you're there in front of the people that you love and dancing with them.
So snowstorm is not the reason to cancel the lesson anymore. Pretty much, this is what Anna is saying.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I'm really blessed that our students were open-minded enough to try this and to see the benefits of it so that we can all stay together as a community. And with all this craziness that's happening, mental health is so important, and the ability to just get on and see a friendly face, to see your teacher, to move your body. You do that every day, you feel so much better. Makes such a difference.
Yeah, so
for
our
sure.
students, yeah, so our students will keep calling this place. The nickname for this place is their happy place,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
So and at this moment we can say like this is the thing what people needed the most,
Hmm.
something happy, something light, something easy, and basically connection with their teachers, connection with their fellow students. This is something what is a must at this moment because I think everybody's trying to talk about right now the mental exhaustion, and it's
Yeah.
starting to get much more difficult for basic communities, and it's kind of it's getting better. I guess it will get better, of course, but this is something what needed for us as a teachers to teach, to have a connection with our students. So, and same for the students, of course, not to miss connection with, like I said already, to
with the
with
community.
the community,
Yeah.
right? And we need them, they need us. So online platforms was really kind of providing us that connection with them.
Mhm.
You guys touched on something so key. I think because of the increased interest in finding ways to improve your physical and mental well-being, talk a little bit more about some of the new motivators that your students have to learn how to dance. Are they more into fitness now? Is it more to help with their confidence levels? Maybe like couples therapy, like you mentioned, or like boredom, or finally
Yeah.
maybe having time to try something new.
Well, I think actually all of those, because one big thing that is great about Arthur Murray's is that it's very customized. So every new student that comes in or an existing student, we're trying to ask them many questions and find out what are they missing the most in their lives. So we've been doing that when they were coming into the studio, and now it's even more important to find out what is it? Is it the fitness? Is it just spending time with each other? A lot of couples are stuck at home with each other, but they're busy doing different things. They're busy taking care of kids, they're busy working from home, and we make them schedule that time to have a little date. Even if that date is still in the house, there's another person on that screen which will tell you, okay, now embrace each other and dance. And that's amazing to be able to do that. So so to answer your question, I think all of those. I mean, maybe fitness is a little bit bigger than anything else now because people are really, really inactive.
Yes, and if I can add to this, actually, what Anna is talking about the students, about if you dance and dancing and dance lessons, this is something for fitness, for the mental, for the couple therapy. But
Yeah.
the same thing works for us. So we do come, we do try to dance every day. So we call it our dance date. So we try to find like hours in a day when we can actually come and do our practices, our dancing. We have a few projects that we're trying to do, and literally we're living every day. Just we're trying to find. It's a must to find the time for us to spend time together on the floor.
Yeah, otherwise we'll go nuts.
Exactly, and this is what happens if we miss the day or 2 days. We're starting to feel slightly heavy, right?
Mhm.
And so it's for us as a couple, as the dancers, as the human beings, it's a must. So I do believe for our students is the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So
And us being dancers and dancing together for so long, when we retired from dance, we thought maybe we should try to find another hobby because it's like we're dancing all the time. And we thought about it, and I think we even tried like
no, I did like
watching a movie.
yeah, no, I think in the COVID kind of made everybody thinking about the new hobby. So for example, I did start biking. So this is my kind of new hobby, but the way I'm using biking right now, basically I'm biking from the house to the studio to dance.
Yeah. So
Dancing is still it's a big, I mean, it's a passion of the love,
yeah.
passion of our life.
So he found his own hobby, but what we realize is that a couple's hobby, there's nothing better than dance. And even though people might think we're crazy, it's like you guys do this all the time, and then you want to do it some more. It's like yes, because that's the best thing you can do together as a couple.
Yeah, and she doesn't want to
Absolutely.
bike.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it.
It's funny you say that. I think the lines between work and life have really been blurred lately. Um, do you think any of your students are noticing any kind of sort of obstacles to training, like maybe technology or not being able to find the space?
Space. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Needed
for sure.
All of this, yeah.
Yes, all of those things. So when we first started this, I spent a lot of time just talking with students on the phone and helping them set things up. So helping them set up Zoom, we would set them up Zoom accounts, and then they would show us with a camera at their home, and it would be like, okay, well, what if you move this over there? And we would really take care of every one of our
Yeah.
students to make that space.
It was like a geek squad, but instead of geek squad, it was like a Zoom squad.
Zoom squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And in the end, what we discovered is, first of all, you don't need that much space. So if you can take like one step forward, one step backward, and same thing to the side, that's enough, because we really customized our lessons online to work on more body awareness, not necessarily just travel around the dance floor. Traveling around the dance floor is just one aspect. Now, of course, people enjoy that a lot when they're in the studio, but there's so many other things to work on, like arm styling, foot positions, hip movement, head movement, expression, musicality. So what we found with these Zoom lessons is that we're able to target all of those things much more and in greater detail, rather than when students were always just coming into the studio, everybody just wanted to use the dance floor to just dance. And so we didn't have as much progress as we're having now, because people are much more aware of their bodies and they're taking their time because they don't have that big dance space. But finally, when they will, they would have improved so much because they're all becoming much more aware of their body.
Okay, so what I'm hearing, like, you don't need any special equipment. You literally just need a computer screen and a couple feet of space. How do you address someone who's, for example, new to dancing and say they don't want to turn on their camera? They're let's say they're shy.
Yeah, we've had that many times. So we don't force them to turn on the camera, you know. So if you want to try dance lessons and you've never tried it before, we set things up for you. We even tell them you don't even have to dance at first. So actually, I remember having that lesson not so long ago, because the student was very, very, very shy, totally new to dance. She was just sitting there, and we would demonstrate the kinds of things that we would do, because when people think I want to learn to dance, everybody has different images in their mind. Most people have the images of YouTube videos where people are doing crazy, advanced, fast world champions, flips, and they think, oh, that's dancing.
And they keep saying to us, we don't want to be professionals.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we don't have to be professionals to enjoy dancing. So that's the image they have, right? But then in our first lesson with a student, we show them that the first few steps to dancing are actually very, very simple. It's literally marching on the spot is like the first step that we will introduce them. So when we show that to a new student, they relax a little bit and they think, oh, okay, that doesn't look so difficult. And then they have a little bit more confidence to get up and try it, right? Because just the fear of the unknown. When the lessons were in studio, they were scared to come in through the door. Like that was the biggest fear. Now it's actually getting up in front of the camera. That's the new fear, right? So once we get past that fear and show them that the first step, if you can walk, even if you can walk not very well, you can still dance. And then when that fear is gone, then, life begins. Life with dance. Dance life begins. Yeah.
Wow. I want to take the conversation in a bit of a different direction now. One really interesting thing that I found out about you guys is your community involvement with nurses and frontline workers. Could you talk a little bit about how Arthur Murray gives back?
Yes. So when the pandemic started, I think like 1 month in or something like that, we wanted to give back right away to frontline workers. Once we realized that these Zoom classes are working well, we put up a sign outside of our studio, free lesson for frontline workers. And I actually remember some people called in and took that lesson. That was via Zoom. Then we also got in touch with one of the local hospitals, and we set up weekly group lessons for anybody working at the hospital. So I asked to accommodate their schedule. So they told us the times that they thought would be best. And then we just had some of our staff teach those group lessons just for free. So the frontline workers got a link and they would click in, and all of a sudden there's a dance teacher in front of you teaching you how to dance. So we did that for a while. And then we actually have a student who works in the hospital. Her name is Linda, and hopefully she will hear this. So she really advertised our online event to everybody in the hospital. She sent out our newsletter to like thousands of people, and a lot of them showed up to that event and watched our online dancing event. So we had over 100 people watching that.
It's really exploded.
Event. Yeah, it exploded because she really sent out our newsletter about that event to everyone. And it was such great feedback because there were people there who didn't know anything about the studio, who didn't know anything about dancing, but all of a sudden they see all of our students doing these amazing performances. And when our students and teachers do performances, like they're really awesome. They have to amazing music with costumes. That was when our students were able to come into the studio. So we got these performances pre-recorded. And so all these people who are frontliners, who are so like panicked and busy with all the craziness that's happening, they got to have a night like that from home. And we always make it very fun and interactive, where we get them to get up and dance too. So it's like you have your own little party from home, but you're connected with like hundreds of other people. from their home. So that was really magical for me when I saw all their faces and all these people that we didn't even know, and I could see how we're making their life just a little bit better for those like 2 hours on a Saturday night.
Good for you guys. I mean, lifting people's spirits, I think that's just so key today. So speaking of this, so could you talk a little bit about what you feel like creativity brings to a time of global uncertainty, and what is it that you think that people or the world really needs right now? Is it connection? Is it certainty and structure? Is it like a sense of meaning? Like, what is it that you feel the performing arts really gives people at a time like this?
Good question. You want to take it?
You
No, I'll take it.
You're taking everything.
Yes. Well, I think you said it. I mean, first of all, it's definitely connection with other people, because I find when I'm just walking around the street and then somebody says hello to me, I want to talk to that person more. I just want to ask them, how was your day? And then I just want
Yeah.
to linger a little bit and just find out just a little bit more, because that connection is something so innate for humans, right?
And I think in the beginning, especially like when all the pandemic and quarantine started, it was over the top. I mean, of course, we have to stay safe, but what was happening when you see people, when you go into the store and you see people literally kind of jumping away from you, if you're
Yeah.
starting to, it's when you're starting to get closer to the 6 feet, it's starting to get, again, like I keep saying, the heavy feeling, right? And this human connection, interaction with people, uh, in our case, through the dancing, through the performances, through Zoom lessons, it's basically something what people do need, because it's something what was so sharply taken away from us, the communication, and or the way we used to communicate, or in social world. Suddenly it's being taken away from us, and we have to find new ways how to do it. And basically this what we were doing for the last year. Pretty much is going to be 1 year soon.
Yeah, that's
and
scary.
and I think like the most important is just for that amount of time, whatever people having dance lesson or whatever people watching our showcases, online showcases, it's basically to take people's mind out of this heavy news or the new strain of COVID and the new restrictions and this and that. So it's basically taking people's mind away from it.
Like an escape.
Yeah, it's like again,
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
whatever 40 minutes, happy 1 hour and a half of the showcase. It's escape, because even right now, I think Marina, you will agree. When you look in a Netflix, when you're going through the movies or the TV series, which TV series you choosing? Something light, something positive, something
Mhm.
not heavy, right? So it's because it's just already it's so heavy outside of the door, and
You're so right.
like
Yeah.
this what dancing I think kind of does to people. And our students keep saying this, like we're literally waiting for these group lessons every night. And
Yeah.
I think they were more consistent right now with their involvement in the group lessons and their lessons than it was before, funny enough, because again it's so needed.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, like uh, we didn't maybe appreciate as much importance of all of this things in our life before COVID started.
Yeah.
And at this moment, like I think all of us will appreciate it so much more, and we feel need for what for in our case what dancing brings to our life.
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
fascinating. Just hearing you guys talk about it, I mean, it's you guys said it, it's super important. I mean, the world needs more connection, more, and I think art just does that for everybody right now. So
Mhm.
one other thing I want to ask you about your dance studio is, what do you think makes it stand out? Because like you said, when you turn on, let's say YouTube, for example, and there's all this other digital dance fast food, I guess you want to call it, that's pre-recorded, like something on YouTube you can follow along. What makes a personalized experience with dance teachers like yourselves different?
Because it's not just us who is teaching those lessons. Actually, what makes our studio stand out is our teachers, and
Mhm.
we so fortunate. We're so lucky. I cannot. I don't have enough English words to describe what how important for our studio our teachers were, and they it's what they did during the pandemic, the way they carry on, the connection with the students, the way they carry on basically the studio. Because let's be honest, for art at this moment, it's the most difficult times. It's, I mean, dancing is going to be affected, and art and sports is going to be affected quite a lot by pandemic. And our teachers, they're literally angels from the sky with the way they saved us, our guardian angels, I guess. The
Yeah.
way they saved the community, the way they saved the studio, and they're just unbelievable. And I don't. Do you have more English words
Yeah,
to
yeah.
add?
No, I would definitely say like our whole staff. We have the teachers and we have also our admin. So the whole staff that we have right now on board is, I think, what makes us different from other studios or pre-recorded things. Because when you join this studio, you know for sure that everybody on staff will care so much about your personal growth. And then in the lessons, it's all very customized, and care, I think, is the most important thing. So our goal is not just to teach you how to dance, but to find out like what it's that's really really missing in your life, and then help you with that through dance. And then also make sure that you actually do it. We kind of become like your personal trainers, right? So a personal trainer isn't gonna give you a fat week, for example. Right? They're not gonna say, okay,
Of
you
course, for sure. Yeah.
yeah. So if you want to go for a break, go ahead. Our teachers really really care. They make sure they follow up with all the lessons. They make sure they're always giving the students what they want. So that's the biggest difference, because of course now there's even more YouTube videos of anything you want. If there was before, now even more. Anything you can imagine, you can find it somewhere online.
And it used to be before, even
Yeah.
pre-pandemic. Right now, it's just more. But again, as as before, the private approach or the personal approach with people is completely different. Like, let's say, of course, you can do the workout on your
Mhm.
own,
Yeah.
but when
But
you have your personal trainer who
Yeah.
is, let's say, pushing you,
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
in the workouts. If we talk about workouts, so of course it's going to be more result. In our case, it's like different, because I keep saying nobody comes into these doors uh, just for the Roomba. They're coming for the reason what Roomba does to them, or let's say
Hmm.
walls, dancing with the loved one, or let's say learning some dance before you go on vacation because you're going on a cruise or something, and or
no
let's say
more cruises.
as we're talking, yeah, exactly, no more cruising.
Yeah.
So people have more time right now to learn more dancing,
Exactly.
I guess.
But I think also the biggest thing that we provide is we really focus on pushing our students always past their comfort zone. Whereas I think on a
Mhm.
YouTube video, you will choose something that you feel good doing, and then you'll do it, and then good job, right? So we do much more than just teach them to dance. Like we help our students grow as people, and whether it's online or in person. And our students, you can look on our website in their testimonials, like there's proof. The students that have been with us for some time now, whether from the beginning or even for a few months, like they're changing as people, because all the people on our staff, we're constantly pushing them past their comfort zone. And if you don't go outside your comfort zone, you don't grow. And a lot of people just want to stay in their comfort zone. But once they go through our doors, whether through Zoom or physical, that's it. They know that there's like a whole team of people constantly being like, let's go, comfort zone leap, you got it.
And you do it the most, and she's the biggest pusher, that's
Yes.
for sure.
I'm like, phew, throw you in the water.
But she does it in the best way possible. So you guys mentioned your students. Just out of curiosity, have people asked you for something specific now that there's a obviously pandemic going on? They're learning through Zoom. Have you received any new like client requests? The reason I say that is because I assume like wedding dances are no longer the top request.
Yeah,
What
it's
do you
true. We
see
had much more people asking for wedding dances before.
Yeah.
Mhm. And
So
so what do they ask you now?
what do they ask us now?
Just to
Now what
dance,
do
I
they
Just to
ask you
guess.
dance
for?
something.
Just something different from sitting
Show me
on the
how to dance.
sofa and watching TV. Exactly.
Yeah.
So something different from everyday boredom, let's say, because
Yeah. But if I could say, I think what's a little bit more popular now is, especially because a lot of people are alone at home, so they don't have a partner, is we're creating more solo routines for them to do at home. And I think it's a great tool to teach our students that, because you can do it anywhere and you don't even need anyone, right? You can be in your kitchen, and if you have a fun little solo routine that your teacher taught you, you put on that music and you do it. And I think that's so much more of a fun way to do exercise, because you're also expressing yourself. And the routines that we make, they're all customized. So the student might come with like a song that they love so much, and then our teachers will do an amazing job creating a routine based on their level, on their abilities, while still pushing them a bit to a higher level. And then there you have your own little fun routine that you can do in your bedroom, in your kitchen, in your living room, anywhere, to your favorite tune.
Yeah, it sounds great. One of the last questions I'm going to ask you guys is, how do you feel the world of the performing arts will be changing after, I guess, 2021? Do you see it evolving somehow? Like, for example, I know the dance world has relied heavily on competitions before, or things like that. So do you see it changing going forward?
If I'll take it, I don't think 2021 is actually going to be such a big difference comparing, let's say, to 2020, that horrible year. But the point is, 2021 right now, we're still coming out of the this pandemic, and of course we see right now light in the end of the tunnel. But in 2022, what my belief is, the dancing, the art, the excitement about all dancing and the competitions and the events is going to just explode, because if I'm a history crazy guy, so if you look in what was happening in 2000 in the 1920s, because we already went through this pandemic, right? So the Spanish flu, and what was happening in 1920s, it was just arts and dancing and music just exploded. Same if you look at roaring 50s, exactly, the roaring 20s, roaring 50s after the Second World War. So basically, we are right now betting on this, and I do believe this is going to be happening, because again, people did realize how much they needed that, and they will. We are not going to be holding ourselves away from opportunity to go to competition, to go for performance, or to go, let's say, to the nightclub and being able to dance and have fun, right? So same with the restaurants, like it's going to be just exploding. This is what my belief is, because at this moment we do realize there's no such a thing, I'll do it tomorrow or I'll do it next year. We'll do it today, right? So, and this what is I believe this is what is going to happen in 2022. Like, people won't hold to for the opportunities, hold back.
They'll embrace it.
I really like this optimistic outlook, guys. Thank you so much, Anna and Anton. I think what you guys are doing is just truly, truly priceless during a pandemic. I'm sure all of your students really appreciate it. Tell us how you can, tell us how people can get in touch with you or follow your story on social media.
Yeah, if you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, Arthur Murray Ajax, and you'll see all of our amazing posts that we post every day, or the website, arthurmurrayajax.com, or call us at 289-660-6100. That's our number. Everything is a dance.
Wow, thank you guys so much. It's really been a pleasure. Really, really fun to talk to you guys. Best of luck.
Thank you, Marina.
Thank you.